You got me?
Yep, got y'all. All righty, we got
We good? We
Skywalking
good?
with Wetz and Heff, episode 13 here. We got our boy Tommy Mcmillen coming in, giving us a camp preview or a camp check-in, I should say. He'll be fighting next Saturday. But yes, episode 13, flying through these things. We appreciate everybody who's been a part of this. This is Tommy's third one with us. We appreciate him coming in,
Yep.
talking with us, sacrificing some of his time as he's going through camp and weight cuts and all of that. So we appreciate y'all. We're here. We got a lot to talk
Absolutely.
about today, and we're going to start it off with the bang here. The Great Falls kid, the Montana product, about to come back home and put on another show on Saturday. 4 seasons, right?
Yes, sir. Great Falls, Montana, Four Seasons.
Hell
Yep.
yeah.
At Four Seasons Arena. Make sure to get your tickets. Make sure to get all that stuff rolling. Go get a table. Do what you got to do. But first and foremost, Tommy, how you doing? How you feeling? How things going for you your way?
Doing good, man. I've had a good camp. No injuries right now going in this fight, so I'm feeling really good. Yeah, I couldn't ask for a better camp, to be honest. I've never been in this shape mentally and physically before a fight, so I have a tough opponent ahead of me. I'm not taking them lightly at all, but I know I'm gonna go out
Mhm.
there and do my job and get them out of there in the first round. So I'm excited to show you guys what I've been working on for sure.
Oh yeah, dude, I love those clips you be posting. Homie with the what's his name? He got the man bun. He be holding the mitts for you while you're striking.
So JJ,
Yeah.
yeah, his name's JJ. Uh, he's been working with Tim, my main coach, obviously, since like before I even moved out to Arizona. So before like 2016. So JJ's been around Tim for a long time and has been able to kind of adapt to Tim's style of holding mitts, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's been nice having a guy like that to be able to hit mitts with more and just really dial in my striking as we go hunt for another highlight knockout in the first round next weekend. Let's go.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Um, you live in that lab too, dude. So like, what's it been like this last year? Was this your third fight the last year?
This is my fifth scheduled fight this year, so my fifth fight camp. So, technically I've been in fight camp 10 out of the 12 months this year. So I've been, super
Yep.
active on a mission to get my record up and ready for the UFC next year. So, yeah, my fifth scheduled fight. So super
So
excited about that. Go out
what's
there.
that timeline look like? You said that you've been in it for 10 months. So when did you start your most recent one you're in now, and kind of can you take us through the different weeks and what those look like?
Yeah, I mean, I fought like 6 weeks ago, so I didn't really even. This one was a little different because I didn't even get to take a break. I took like a week to kind of let my body heal, and I did just like some basic strength and conditioning. Didn't do any hard impact for like a week, but then right after that, I was back into fight camp. So
Mm-hmm.
they've kind of been just back to back fight camps all year up until right now. So I mean, yeah, we've been pretty dialed in fight camp pretty much all year this year.
Yep. Yep.
Damn.
So, would you want to talk a little bit about how you take care of your body? I know we've talked about it before in the past, but like, are you doing ice baths every day? What kind of stretching are you doing to make sure that your body's ready to go? Because I know like a year, and even in that those months you weren't really in a fight camp, you're still grinding. So like, how are you taking care of yourself,
Yeah.
and what's most important?
Shout out to Thorn Research. I take a lot of their supplements. That's what all UFC fighters are using. They some of the best supplements in the world. I take a lot of those supplements on a day-to-day basis religiously. Always sitting in the hot tub, heating up my muscles, stretching, always going from to cold tub. So, I mean, I do it all. A lot of stretching, workout, a lot of resting. I'm constantly working out throughout the day, but try to get naps in too in between sessions. I wake up, hit a hard morning session, refuel, take like a little nap, give my body some rest, and then hit an afternoon session all the time. Top my rest. I take my rest just as serious as I take my work, so I'm really
Yep.
treating my body like I should be. So
Yep. Yep. That stuff's real important, man. Like even me, I'm not as
Hmm.
active as I used to be, but like just making sure I'm stretching, You know, I've had a couple surgeries. Just making sure you're getting your body right because you only get one. And in the sport you're in, dude, probably one of the most physically taxing sports you could ever be in.
It is. Yeah, I'm also lucky too. You know, I've been doing this for a minute, so I have my schedule, you know, based around myself and how my body performs. So I know, you know, what I can do, and I know how hard I need to push myself. So I try to be super smart about that. You know, injuries are obviously the worst thing about what I do. So as long as I'm injury free, you know, it's a good day. So we're going into this fight injury free,
Mm-hmm.
ready to perform at the highest level. I'm excited. So
Yeah, bro. We're
So talking about that, my thought is with the hard work and all the preparation you have, there's got to be like a mental struggle there. So can you just kind of talk through how to stay mentally locked in and engaged and stay on track, and if there's any barriers that you have to kind of break down throughout the process?
I mean, I feel like it used to be like starting off along this journey. It used to be harder kind of to like stay dialed and on track, you know. But with all the blessings that's been coming in my life throughout this last year from what I've been doing, finally coming together and paying off. It's a lot bigger than just me now. There's so many. I've been selling out merch drops this year, making good money selling merch drops, selling out shows in Montana. I'm Fusion's highest paid athlete, you know. So like to be able to accomplish things like that and see that all work out like that, it feels bigger than me now because so many have bought into the mafia and believe and support where pretty easy to stay dialed every day and keep doing. You know, honestly, I love doing what I do for a living. I get to eat healthy, feel good with my friends, see my friends every day, go home, relax, eat some good food. You know, just so I like what I do for a living. You know, the day I'm
Mm-hmm.
not having fun and liking what I'm doing for a living, you know, I'd probably go do something else. I really love the lifestyle. So like the discipline, staying disciplined is not too hard for me. You know, I think we've talked about before in one of our podcasts in the past. You know, it's not really hard for me to not go out, you know, and get in the whole party and do all that. I do like to party and have fun, but when there's something to celebrate, party about, you know, and that's why December 9th, I'm going to go out there and knock this dude out, and the Tommy Gun Mafia is going to turn up for the night, and it's going to be a good night. So
Hell yeah.
that's how we do that. Stay dialed, and when we win, you know, work hard, play hard. So
That's
Yep,
right.
absolutely. Yo, when you were dropping those jerseys, you're dropping all that merch, everyone jumped on that, bro. You got a lot of support. Got a lot of support too, and they were dope.
yeah, what I mean by that, it feels bigger than me, you know. So like, I don't just get out of bed every day for just me and do this for me. You know, there's a lot of people that believe in me, and I'm the person on. You know, I won't let other people down. People believe in me. I'm gonna do it, and that's just how it's gonna be. So
Yeah, absolutely, bro. It's dope. It's dope. Too bad I'm broke. Otherwise, I would have bought a jersey.
Facts.
At Christmas time, you know. I'll get one down the road for sure. But we got a question. I think you kind of answered it a little bit earlier, but like, and a little more in depth, like, how much different is this fight camp compared to the one before? Because they're different opponents. Are there like what's the specific things? You don't have to give us your game plan, but like, what changes? I should ask.
you know, that's my game plan because he ain't gonna be able to stop. I'm gonna go out there, lights out, most likely within the first couple minutes. But no change for this fight camp. We got a similar opponent. I believe most of these guys are going to want to take me down eventually when they start striking with me for a little bit. They're going to feel my range, my speed. I'm going to crack them. And so I think people are going to always try to grab a hold, try to grapple me like that last guy.
Yep.
And, you know, I want to snipe people's chins. So my game plan is always gonna be keep my distance, keep them at my range, not let them get close. When they do try to get close, make them pay and bounce and dance, and not let them get a hold of me because I don't want to grapple. You know, I want to go out there and knock people out and put people on high levels. You know, for my fans. So
Hell yeah.
not much really changed this fight camp. Same distance, throws crisp shots at his chin until his lights go out, and just keep at that.
Yep. 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 Just keep attacking them, doing your thing, bro. And like I said, they want to take you down. I don't think that's a good idea either, dude. But and all I know is Great Falls is in for a show on this upcoming Saturday. So when do you fly out, and like what's your plan for the week leading up to this?
Um, it's pretty chill. Doing some mitts, my punch sharp and crisp, and then a lot of visualization. I'm just going over the fight in my head. A lot of recovery stuff like sauna, hot tub, while I'm meditating in the present moment. That's what it's all about when you go out there and fight.
Yeah.
Getting in that present moment. So I'm just really getting dialed in like that. Part of any training, just like I said, mainly hitting mitts. Tuesday, I'm gonna probably do one of my last harder workouts, and then Wednesday and Thursday will be really, really relaxed and just focus on hitting that weight on Friday. Make weight, and then we're flying out. We'll be in Great Falls Thursday. Is when I fly in, cut a little bit of weight, wake up, weigh in on Friday, fight Saturday.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
So pretty chill week.
Yep. Probably got it down to a science at this point, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, if casual this time, it honestly feels like just this is like the 5th time I'm flying up to Montana doing the same thing. So I mean, it just feels like any other trip. Be casual right now. I'm excited to get back up there.
yep, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Again, like I said, we're excited for it, dude.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very impressive from just like an athletic standpoint alone of how consistent and dedicated you've been all year, all these years combined, but specifically this year. Like you said, it's your 5th fight camp, going through it again. You're staying in that schedule. That's super impressive, man. I don't think a lot of people on this planet can really stay on that kind of level, not only physically but mentally as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just kind of made it. This is just a long game plan in the making. I've been since I was in 3rd grade. I've said that that's before. Moved out here in 2016, started doing this full time, and I always knew that I had my skills to where I wanted them to be to be able to get in the UFC and take over. That I try to fast track myself as much as possible, and I finally, got that confidence in the gym, and I'm confident in my skill set against anybody in the world now at my weight class. So I'm kind of just I'm ready to fight whenever that. And that's kind of been my attitude this year. I've had to find fights honestly. Like
Yeah.
after that last fight, I knocked out an good opponent from a gym that was training with other UFC. He's a legit pro. I go out there and I'm against, and I'm supposed to just be a grappler, I guess. That's what my background's been. But now I'm knocking out pros. Like it was definitely hard to find a fight. That was probably the hardest thing about this last fight, to get a fight. But we found one, and I'm excited that I got a fight booked. That's hard to do sometimes. So.
Absolutely. Do you think it's just dudes ducking you? Do you think that's the biggest part of it?
Yeah, I mean, Fusion, the fight promotion that I'm with, they sent me. I mean, they'll send me a name. I said yes. We went through like 10 guys, and them sent me 10 guys. I said yes to everybody. There's guys that were 5-0 on that list. Guys that were like 10-1, 2, like 15-3, some level, like legit pro, some undefeated. And just a lot of people aren't confident in themselves. They want to protect their record and get in the UFC, for sure. But I'm just to the point, I'll fight anybody because I need to get fights, and I want to get in UFC, and I want to get my record to 5-0 this year. So I was willing to fight anybody. We ended up finding a pretty game opponent. I had to fucking talk a little shit to him, honestly, to get him to take the fight, but he took the fight. He's 8-5. He's a veteran, he's a lot older than me, more experienced. 8-5 as a pro. That's 13 pro fights. He's beat 8 good guys. In his last fight, he won a belt actually. It's the dude that was a 5-0 pro. So he finished a 5-0 pro for his last fight for a belt. So I mean, he's a legit pro. he's coming to fight. So I'm excited that I got a game opponent and I get to entertain my fans. It's my favorite thing to do. So
What's that process like going out and finding someone to fight? You said you had to talk to him a little bit, so do you reach out to him? Do you guys reach out to each other, or kind of how does that work?
well, so Fusion, the fight promotion I'm partnered with, they matter. Every fight promotion has a matchmaker. The matchmaker just actions Jim. He tries to match people up. This was the first they originally sent me. The first guy they asked to fight me, who originally I said yeah, so we thought we had a fight right away. Then he said no. He ended up backing out, and we went 3 weeks not being able to find an opponent. And then we got to like 4 weeks out from the fight, and I didn't have an opponent, and we having a hard time getting people to take the fight. So, fighters are emotional people, though. So I took matters in my own hands. I made a Facebook tag that's like, "Yo, bro, you're 30 years old, 8-5. You need to win against someone like me if you ever want to be in the U. Like, what are you doing sitting around? Like, let's find out. Let's run it." And he ended up he saw that post, calling the promotion, and said, "I'll fight this kid." So you got sometimes all you gotta do is get these guys a little emotional, and then they'll come in the fight trying to fight you. It'll be good. He's gonna come out aggressive. I know I know the fans are gonna be in for a treat. We get stuck quick. I have a feeling, so I'm
Yep, that's dope.
Shit.
That's cool. I love that shit talking too, man. And that's hey, it's as much as it is a physical game and a sport, it's a mental game too. So you're taking that into your hands as well. You see all the greats, on any combat sport or even any sport in general, they take that mental part to the next level, and that's separates a lot of dudes. That's dope. But yeah, you're flying out, getting there Thursday, weighing in Friday, knocking the dude out on Saturday, and it's back to business that next week. And then we're expecting some nice big news from you, man. But we want to be, considerate of your time. We are kind of breaking up with the internet right now a little bit, but we're gonna let you go, Tommy, and we'll keep in touch with you. We won't be considerate of your time again, and we'll definitely stay in touch with you. Yep. We appreciate you, brother. Good luck.
Hey, good
we'll
luck,
be
bro.
tuning in, dude.
Hell yeah.
He's locked the fuck in.
Oh, dude, you could just tell.
He's locked the fuck
He's
in.
ready.
Yeah. Yeah. It sucks that we were kind of breaking up on the internet a little bit there. We'll try and fix that the next time. But yeah, you can tell he's locked in. Definitely a different attitude. Kind of different vibe from him. And so he's locked in. He knows what's on the line here. We got Jordan LaFontaine asked the question, how many rounds you lasting with Heff in the ring? We might go a 5-round banger.
Dude.
I'm just gonna
There
gas
ain't
him
no
out.
way I'm lasting 5 rounds, dude. I am in terrible shape.
Yeah, we're gonna go a 5-round
I'll just be ducking.
banger.
I'll be ducking and dodging.
Ducking and dodging. But yeah, dude, that's dope. That's crazy, honestly, when you think about it. 10 out of the last 12 months, he's been in a
Dude,
fight
he's
camp.
been busy.
Yeah, been busy, man. And shoot, like that weight cut too. Like he's been in it, but probably hitting those hard days now. And so the body and all that, man, you just gotta take care of yourself, and that's what he's doing. But we want to be considerate of his time too. So,
Yep.
But just to jump to another topic, we had some big news yesterday. Heff, do you want to talk about a little bit?
Yeah, I do. Got to the round of 16 of the college football FCS playoffs. The FBS playoffs today also released their 4, so I guess we'll just start with the FCS since had some good action yesterday. There were 8 games. All 8 seeds played, 7 of them. The seeded teams, top 8 teams in the country, went 7-1. Lone loss coming down the road in Bozeman, Montana. Dude, Jake and I were watching that game on FaceTime together yesterday, and that was a hell of a game. Just went to overtime. NDSU goes on a nice long 25-yard drive, scores. MSU gets the ball. They go right down the field, 1-play score. And then the blocked extra point. Are you shitting me?
I said I didn't necessarily call it. I go, it would be a shame if he sold this.
Dude.
I mean, the guy
That was an
threw his hands
offensive
up.
lineman. It was a 6'8" lineman. It was the first time all year he had played special teams on the kick block unit.
Yep.
That was crazy.
Yep.
And then later in the night, Grizz kicked off, played Delaware. Kind of got up early and never let their foot off the gas. Nice, easy 30-point win to set up a Friday night game. National TV, ESPN2. It's funny because post-game last night, the Grizz coach, Bobby Houck, he's like, I'm really hoping we get a game on Saturday and during the day. And then the schedule comes out and he gets a Friday night game, dude. He hates night games.
Yeah, man. I mean, shoot, up there in Missoula, man, those night games, they get cold.
Yeah.
And it's tough. Like the snow played a factor yesterday for sure, but like you could just tell like players are just a little sluggish. What LaFontaine say?
Go Paladins. That's who the Grizz got. Furman Paladins from South Carolina coming in. I can't imagine it's.
Wait, hold on. Is LaFontaine a Cat fan? What is he? Or is he just an Oregon fan?
No, he's
Oregon,
getting.
LaFontaine.
No,
he's
salty because Oregon lost to Washington twice. Hey, shit happens, man. Oregon ain't them.
Yeah.
Got nothing to do with the Grizz.
Yeah, that's crazy. Sorry about the Ducks, but we'll get there here in a second, bro.
Yeah.
But to the Cat game, bro, that was it was a good game. But even the cold there, you could see some of the dudes in that secondary, they didn't want to hit. It was a little too cold. And if you've ever played football in the cold, those pads hurt. I mean, they protect you, but it hurts when you're slamming in the bodies, especially big bodies. But you know, it was honestly a pretty fun game to watch. To be honest,
it was.
The Cats, like we've said it on here. We're not Cat fans or anything, but like they're still a good football team, and so is NDSU. They have all of the accolades and everything, and it kind of sucks. The Cats have lost to them 4 of the last 5.
It's 4 out of the last 5, and the one year they didn't lose to them was the COVID year when Grizz or Cats didn't play. So the last 4 playoff runs have been ended by NDSU for the Cats.
Yeah. But it was a good game, man. It sucked to see Tommy go down. You hate to see that, man. We'll always back up our Montana boys. We hope he's all good. And their backup quarterback seemed like he may have had like a hammy or groin or something.
Yeah, he wasn't right.
But yeah, it was a good game. It was a fun game. Heff and I were talking on FaceTime that whole fourth quarter, and it was fun to watch. But that block punt. So the Cats scored. It was like NDSU scored, then the Cats scored right away.
Yeah, first play.
And I thought that was a momentum changer right there because I was like, oh, shit, you just scored, and in the blink of an eye, they just run it down your throat, get in the end zone. And I was like, uh-oh. But then they blocked that kick, and game over. Just like that, dude. That's the craziest thing about sports, dude. Just like that. It happens so quick. But yeah, to get into that Grizz game, man, talk about a snow bowl. That snow was coming down, dude.
I was supposed to go to that game and just circumstances changed, but I'm really glad I didn't because, it forecast all week. Didn't say any snow during game time, and then as soon as kickoff, man, I think they said that it was 2 or 3 inches on the field. Had a hard time following around in the second quarter. You couldn't even tell where the yard markers were. You couldn't tell where they were on the field unless they were far enough and you could see the end zone pylons, but yeah, it was crazy. And the Grizz quarterback, he's from Texas. He said it was his first snow game, and he couldn't hardly see more than 10 yards downfield. So, I mean, it definitely played a factor.
Yeah, definitely plays a factor. And they were still slinging the ball. Typically in those
games,
you're not throwing it that much, but both teams were taking shots.
Yeah, that was a really fun game. And the nightcap of the playoffs was Idaho and Southern Illinois.
Another banger of a game, dude.
Yep, Southern Illinois goes down in a tie ball game, puts themselves in field goal range, and Idaho blocks it, sends it to overtime, gets a turnover, and kicks a game-winning field goal. So Grizz and Idaho are the only 2 Big Sky schools remaining, and like I said earlier, 7 of the 8 seeds won, so we got a pretty good slate of games next week, too, so Grizz keep winning. They keep playing at home. They're 2 away from Frisco.
Yep, 2 away from Frisco, and you said it yesterday. You like your chances against anyone. If
Yep.
I know MSU is a little banged up, but if they play NDSU that close, I mean, hard not to think you like the chances if we match up with them in the semifinal. But we got to take care of
Yep.
the Paladins, aka the Palpatines, because they're the Sith Lords. We don't fuck with the Sith. We're rebels over here, dog. Um, yeah, good slate of games on that level. Then we had some banger games. Friday and Saturday night on the, we had Bama, Georgia. We had
Oregon,
Oregon,
Washington, Friday night.
Washington. Oof, LaFontaine was there, man. We should have got him on here to talk about that experience. I bet you that was cool. Um, but yeah, a lot happened today too within the
Mm-hmm.
committee. They took Florida State out. How do you feel about that, Heff? That's
I've
tough.
gone back
That's
and
that's
forth. I've gone
tough,
back and
dude.
forth, but their coach came out and he made some very good points. 13-0, conference championship, and they played two SEC schools and they're out of conference. So they're scheduling hard opponents. It's not like they're going out and
Mm-hmm.
scheduling FCS teams or anything. And they were both on the road, go out and win both those games.
It's tough, man.
I don't know if I agree or disagree. The committee was put in a really, really hard position there with the games that unfolded, but you gotta think 13-0 conference champion, Power Five, two SEC wins, and you gotta put them in, dude. And I saw this thing. It said if Alabama had the same scenario, they would not get left out just because of a backup quarterback.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
where do you draw the line? There's no standard for these other teams. It's all about name.
Oh, dude. Like, I was listening to Pat McAfee show on Friday, and they were talking about this scenario. What if they leave
Mm-hmm.
them out and da 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 da? And it was just like, who do you leave out for one? But like, what does that say? Are they putting the best teams on record in the playoffs, or are they putting the best teams they think will give us the best games in that playoff? I don't know. And I think this is also an argument to expand the playoff, and they're going to do that, right?
Yeah, we'll get 12 teams next year. But my thought was, what's the point of playing all those games if you're just going to get left out?
Yeah.
You're punishing them for being perfect. How do you do that? You can't.
They put their necks on the line to get in this situation, and they did everything they had to do.
I mean, regardless, it was yesterday. They won 16-6. Their third string quarterback played. He didn't do much, but you got to think the backup would have been back for the playoff run, and 6 points to a top 15 team. Man, that defense is elite. Their
Oh yeah.
playmakers are elite. They are an elite team, and just because their starting quarterback went down, I don't think you can't punish them for that. You can't punish them for an injury. And their quarterback, Jordan Travis, even tweeted, he's like, "I wish I would have broke my leg earlier in the year so they could have seen this team more,"
No, yeah,
which is
exactly.
crazy, dude.
Exactly. And they won without him. I mean, they beat good teams without him. LaFontaine said
Yeah,
66,000 people in that Oregon game. That
that was
was
in Vegas. That was at Allegiant
Allegiant,
Stadium in
dude.
Vegas.
Dude, that's crazy. I couldn't imagine an atmosphere like that, to be honest. And that stadium's like, what, 2 years old? Probably just beautiful.
It's pretty relatively new. Yeah, that would have been an awesome experience.
Yeah, UCF all over again. Real.
What was that? 2017. They ran the table and thought they were getting in and got
Yeah,
pushed out. That's
yeah.
tough.
That's tough, man. And it makes you think. What if Oregon won? Would they have left Washington out? Who knows? I don't know.
If they left Georgia out, they would have left Washington out because it's the
It's
same
tough, man.
story.
But would they have put Oregon in? Like, who knows, man? Like, it's a weird one. They probably
Yeah.
would have put Oregon in, but man, I don't know. That the committee, ever since they did this playoff thing, the committee's weird. How do they, when they go to the 12 team? Let's say you lose in the first round, do you still get a bowl game?
Nope, you're done. You play your playoff games and you're done.
So,
Because those are still New Year's
bowls.
Six bowls. Those are like the top of the line bowl games. You're still going to get the
Okay.
primetime slots and everything.
Okay, so they'll just make those the big bowl game.
That's how it is now. Like the Rose Bowl is Alabama, Michigan's the Rose Bowl, and then I think it's the Sugar Bowl
You got
is Texas and
who
Washington.
you got there? Alabama, Michigan.
That's tough. I feel like that might be the best game we get of the three in the playoff.
Oh, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
I'll go Alabama over Michigan, Washington over Texas, Washington over Alabama.
Think Washington's gonna do the whole damn
Hey,
thing?
I rode with them
called
all
it.
year. I
Yeah.
predicted them preseason. I'm rolling with it. I ain't changing now.
Yeah.
Give me the dogs.
Give them the dogs. Yeah, I honestly, I mean, Michigan's been in it a couple times. Alabama's been in it almost every freaking time.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see like
Yeah.
Texas and Washington up in there though. Texas hasn't been in this position for a while, huh?
Yeah, no, they haven't. They've done a good job turning it around.
Sarkisian, dude. I hate that guy's haircut, dude.
Yeah, they're all right. I don't got too much to say about those guys.
Yeah, Sarkisian, but yeah, I can't wait. So when do those play out? End of December?
I think they're New Year's, honestly. I can go look,
Yep,
but I
yep. That's
think they're
typically
New
how it
Year's.
goes, right?
Yeah.
How it
And then
rolls.
I still hate that the championship's always on a Monday night. I've never understood that.
It's put on a Sunday or put on a Saturday, man.
Dude, that's how it is with the FCS championship. They moved it 2 years ago and they're keeping it. They put it on ABC, which is cool because you're going to get a lot of viewership on ABC. But they put it on a Sunday, and I think it's a noon kickoff on a
I hate
Sunday.
that.
So
Make
you're
it a night
battling
game.
viewership against the NFL, man.
Yeah, see, give it a night game, dude. Like, you're
I
still
don't
getting
like the
NFL
Sunday,
prospects
man.
out of there. You're still getting top tier football. For the most part, I mean, shoot, give them their respect, man. That's what I gotta say.
Fighting against NFL games too, man.
Yeah, and you know those NFL fans, like NFL fans are gonna pick the Broncos over any college football game for
Oh
the
yeah.
most part. Weirdos. But yeah, it's interesting. A lot of good games, a lot of good stuff. The college football playoff was, I mean, the committee today, shocking. It sucked to see. Like, I couldn't imagine being Florida State. When I saw the reaction, I was like, that sucks.
Did you see Michigan's reaction when they picked Alabama, not Florida State? They were all just sighing and booing. They were so upset Florida State didn't get in.
Oh,
they
wanted. I bet you they were upset.
Just the room, dude, like a giant sigh. They were so pissed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it goes. We'll definitely keep having tabs on. I think we were kind of expecting to have a little more to discuss of yesterday. I think the Cat game was the most interesting, but not much to say about the Grizz. I think they got to clean up that secondary a little bit. I don't know what was going on yesterday. There's a couple plays. It's like, ooh.
Yeah.
But who knows? I don't know football like that. I assume they're gonna figure it out. But stay locked, fellas. We want this.
Hey, I mean, for Delaware was a top 10 team, and they beat them by 30. So I mean,
yep.
Furman next week. I like their odds against Furman, and then on the other side of the bracket, you either got South Dakota or North Dakota State coming to Missoula, giving the Grizz win Friday. So we'll see.
Yeah. If Montana put up that many points yesterday in the snow, imagine what they'd do in a dome.
Yeah, that's facts.
Yeah, moving forward as we always do. NBA stuff kind of going on. NBA's in full swing. Heff's fantasy team didn't do too hot this week. My team
What else is new?
Put up some points. But what's really caught your eye from keeping up with these games these last couple weeks? What are you seeing?
Yeah,
I
was looking at the standings, man. There's the Orlando Magic are the 2 seed right now. Who saw that coming?
Are they really?
Yes. They're 14-6, and then in the West, Minnesota 1, Oklahoma City 2. I mean, I didn't expect Minnesota to be good. We saw the product they had. They didn't change too much. Oklahoma City, man, they were really solid. They go get Chet, man.
Chet,
dude. Magic, dude. Magic one surprises me because I'd still call myself a bit of a casual. I keep up, absolutely, but seeing them in first place or second place, that's kind of
they're hot, dude.
Surprises me.
And they're deep on all levels too. They got really good guard play. They got good forwards. They got some good bigs, man. And they're young, and that's like you said. You named all these teams. This is that next generation of NBA players coming up, dude, and they're taking over as you're seeing. Like LeBron's got a couple more years, but the Lakers, like, this is what we've been dealing with the Lakers for the last, ever since they won even before they won their ring, when LeBron first got there, this has been the Lakers. Like, oh shit, we're good, but we're kind of bad at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see these teams, like you said, OKC, Minnesota, um, the Magic. Who else is out there in the East? Trying to think. I mean,
Boston's the seed right
Boston,
now, and then you got the Bucks, Sixers. Knicks are in the 5 seed.
another young
Pacers
team.
6. Heat, Cavs, Nets, Hawks. Man, the Hawks. They have been so disappointing the last start of this year and last year.
Yeah, that's usually how they go. They that's what they do, man. Like they start off a little slow, but then they start bringing together some wins, and I just think like they
Mm-hmm.
bring. I don't know. They have a really good team. It's just it's I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I gotcha.
I like Trey Young doing his thing though for my fantasy squad. I'll always take that.
That's facts.
But yeah, it's interesting. We're seeing this new gen come up, dude. Like
Mm-hmm.
as you said, Cat, this is his time. Anthony Edwards, this is when they start making their stamp. And as we've always seen, though, when you get into the playoffs, that's when it doesn't matter. You don't want to see LeBron in the playoffs or the Lakers. You want to see some of those guys because that's where that veteran
Yeah, we saw that
leadership
with
and veteran
the
plays.
Kings last year.
Yeah, absolutely. And it
They
sucks.
were
Like
rock solid.
Warriors struggling too, man. Like it's all these dynasties or like good teams that we've had these past 5-6 years. They're starting off slow,
They're
but
aging
also
out.
injuries play a factor in it too. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
been a lot of injuries, man. People
I'm
sitting
aware
out.
of that.
Yeah, you're aware of that. But it's interesting. One thing that's really caught my eye is Tyrese Halliburton, dude. That guy's a
Oh, he's
dog.
going
If
crazy.
I don't think they're winning enough games, but he could be. I think he should be a top 5 MVP candidate over Shea. What do you guys say? What do you guys say, LaFontaine? I mean, Shea's gonna be up there because of the record, and Shea's a dog too. But I love Halliburton's game, bro.
He's got a hot take. OKC might win it all. I mean, if they keep playing like they are and they can stay healthy, that's their thing is health, man. If they stay healthy,
and Chet's a
I can
dog.
see it.
Like
Dude,
I was watching Chet. He was doing some grown man moves down there, bro. He was bump, spin, outside fade, like
yo,
on some
his
elite
bag is deep
defenders.
for a rookie, man.
Mm-hmm. It's dude. It's gonna be. They're gonna be scary. Next 10 years, they're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be scary. But one thing I noticed, I didn't really pay attention to it at the beginning of the year, bro, was um, the ESPN's top 100 players in the league, and they had
Mm-hmm.
dudes. Who'd they have? Let me look it up real
I
quick.
don't put any stock into that, dude.
No,
It's
you
always
shouldn't.
just
But like,
disrespectful.
no, and that's why I was.
ESPN's they're now in the business of clickbait, and it's sad. It really is.
Well, isn't that it is sad, bro? Because when you think about it, um, they never used to be like that. It used to be a pretty
Yeah.
non-biased, you know, pretty non-biased network. You'd get your sports. There was not a lot of,
Mm-hmm.
wokeness. I mean, we won't go down that road, but it's like they've definitely taken a turn from what like we grew up with. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh. That's
And
facts.
that's the part that that stinks because it's not the same. And let's see. I'm gonna look at their top 10, and I want to ask you, but they had. This is what I wanted to bring up. They had Scoot Henderson. They had who else got drafted this year? Brandon Miller. They had all these
Yeah.
kinds of dudes ranked over Russell Westbrook and Kyrie Irving on the top 100 list to start the season, bro. And I think that's
Okay,
one of
that's
the
out of
most
pocket.
that's some of the most disrespectful shit I've ever seen in my life. Let's look. Top 10.
I'm not the biggest Kyrie or Russ fan, but I do agree with you. Those are very, very great multi-time all-stars. Couple MVPs for Russ. Like I said, it's all clicks, man. They don't actually put any time into their product anymore. It's what's going to get the most clicks.
It's just that social media stuff, man.
It's terrible.
Very terrible, man. Let's look here.
You talked about this new wave of players coming up, and like it's a new wave, a new audience that they're trying to reach, and it's
Like, you can't tell me Jamal Murray's better than Kyrie Irving. Like, you cannot tell me Jamal Murray's better than Kyrie Irving. He should not be up over Kyrie on that list. I would even argue Jaylen Brown. I would argue Cat. I'd argue all these dudes.
You're taking Kyrie over all of them?
I'm taking Kyrie over Drew Holiday. He's number 26. I haven't even found Kyrie yet. Kyrie's better than Brandon Ingram. Lauri Markkanen.
See, all these guys you're naming, though, they are very, very, very good in their role.
Very, very good in their role. Jalen Brunson, he's not better than Kyrie. If we're talking about Mikal Bridges, I love him. Not better than Kyrie. Kyrie's number 34. And all those guys I named are above him. And I get it. I get, like, why they might put him in front. But you got to think about this, bro. Like, they're only putting Kyrie high up there just because of his past. Not because of him being a basketball player. Because him being a basketball player, there's a reason why LeBron went to go play with him in Cleveland.
Yeah,
And
I got you.
Kyrie's top 3, top 5 bucket getter in the league right now. And there's no way he should be 34 on the list.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do think that is a little low.
Yeah, like,
I don't think he's top 10, but he's definitely higher than 34. Probably put him in the maybe 12 to 18-ish range, maybe a little lower.
11 to 20 range at the very least.
Somewhere in there.
At the very least.
I ain't touching him in the top 10 though.
At the very least.
I ain't going that far.
But that's what I'm saying. It's just like disrespect, and they're all future Hall of Famers. Like he said, like, name any of those guys, and Kyrie's not out of his prime. You could argue Russ is kind of getting there, but like Russ still does Russ stuff. He's just in a different role. But like,
yeah,
you can't tell me these dudes, like, they have high ceilings for sure. But like, we know Kyrie. And Russ,
yeah.
I think Russ would bust some of those guys' ass too, to be honest.
Dude, he would, yeah. Like I said, I'm not the biggest Russ guy, but
he's between 100.
Even on there.
He's between 151.
That's okay.
Let's see. I'm looking. Oh, Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook's number 94.
Okay, that's just wrong.
That's disrespectful,
that's wrong,
dude. They're saying Mike Conley's better than Russell Westbrook. Emmanuel Quickley, Josh Hart, John Collins, Robert Williams, Kevon Looney, Buddy Hield, Anthony Simmons, Clint Capella, Tobias Harris, Cam Johnson, Bobby Portis is not better than Russell Westbrook. Jalen Green's not better. Scoot Henderson's not better. Jordan Clarkson's not better. Chris Paul's not better. Cade Cunningham, no. Chet, maybe. Poole, hell no. RJ Barrett, no. Walker Kessler's number 70. Brooke Lopez, Michael Porter, like these guys. Austin Reeves.
Hey, they know Austin Reeves playing there. He's nice. He's
nice, but he's not on Russell. You line them up and you line them up. Russell Westbrook's busting all these dudes' ass. I
mean, Russell's only averaging 12.
Well, it's his role, not him as a basketball player. See, this whole analytics thing got me going crazy, dude. I love analytics. I think they show a lot of great points, but analytics isn't everything. You know what I mean?
No, it's not. But stats don't lie either.
Stats don't lie, but it's also given on situation and game plans and who's on your team, like all that kind of stuff, man. And I mean, Russ asked the coaching staff to come off the bench, and I saw this. His first 4 games coming off, he was averaging like 4 points on 20% shooting, man. Right. I like Russ, but he might be washed. I don't think he's washed, man. I think it's just situational type stuff. If you put him on a team, right, like, let's say you go put him on the Wizards again. Russ is going to do Russ shit. I promise you that. I'll stand on that. It's like, you're asking Russ, these last 2 placements with Russ, you're asking him to stop playing what he's played his whole life and play a little different. And he's getting acclimated to it. And he's shown, like last year, he did a really good job with the Clippers. And I think he even started off pretty dang strong. Yeah, Reeves is higher, LaFontaine. I said it. But like you got to think, Russell Westbrook still can get you that triple double. He's still gonna go. He boards like a big dude. Like people say that stat pattern, but bro,
Hey,
Russ,
I'm not saying
Russ boards
Jordan's in
hard.
the chat saying stats weren't lying when he was I got Russell Westbrook was top 5 for a couple years. I ain't taking that away. I ain't saying that's not the case. I'm just saying right now. Right
Given
now,
the
I don't know if
situation.
Russ. I don't know if Russ is the top 100 player.
Wait, what?
Where'd you say he was? 94?
Yeah.
Seems pretty fair to me, and that was made preseason.
Given his situation. But when you think about a pure basketball player, there's not 100 dudes. I would say he'd be in that 1 to 30 range, right? You can't tell me there's
So if there was an
dudes
NBA
better than
fantasy
him.
draft, you're saying if you had the 30th overall pick, you're taking Russ instead of whoever else is there.
The 3rd overall pick?
30th. You
30th.
said he's 1 to
Yes.
30.
I mean, age, you got to consider age, but still, if I'm starting a league, like I'm not going to pick up a 34-year-old, but you got to think of what Russ can still do. He's like what, 3 seasons, 2.5 seasons removed from averaging a triple double. Didn't he average one with Washington? Like, then that's why the Lakers wanted him.
Let me
Then
go fact check that because I'm curious how long ago that was.
the Lakers wanted him, but then the Lakers brought him in and asked him to do something completely that's not for his game, and that's the
I
thing
get
about
that.
the Lakers.
I get that.
And then you put him on the Clippers, like, yeah, we could use Russ for sure, better fit. Then they bring in James Harden, and so I think out of those 4, Russ is going to have to be the one to take the back seat, just because it is what it is.
Because he's
But
the worst of the 4. At this point in all their careers, Russ is probably the worst out of the 4.
Paul George don't got an MVP. Paul George
Paul
didn't average a
George
triple
today is
double.
better than Russell. I'm not talking about a couple years ago. I'm talking about right now.
Didn't you just say this far into their careers, though?
I said this year. So far into this year.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you put him somewhere else where you let Russ just be what Russ did. The only reason he's where he's at is because he wants to get a ring. That's why he's doing what he's doing. If he wanted to chase stats and stuff, he would have stayed in Washington, and been competitive. Yeah, for sure. But like, I think he's at the point in his career, he's like, fuck, I got 4 years left, maybe. I'm going to try and
Because he
go get a
realized he
ring.
wasn't good enough to be the leader of a team that could win a championship.
He's never been on a team outside of the ones with KD until the Clippers that was even a position to be in the run for a championship.
I mean, he was on a pretty good Rockets team, but that was a bubble year, and I don't count anything that happened in the bubble.
And he still did his thing with the Rockets, man. But
yeah,
also,
he averaged career numbers with the Rockets. He averaged career high points.
Yeah, and that's the thing though with like these NBA teams. Like I don't know why they would want to pair up, Russell Westbrook, Paul George, Kawhi, James Harden, or like a LeBron and Russell Westbrook type thing. Like it's also, I think a lot of it's fit. So
I agree with that part.
Yeah. I'm a big Russ advocate, and I like Kyrie too, man. It's just I saw the list. I'm a little late to the party, but I was like, "There's no shot. There's that many. Those dudes should be above him in any way." They had Josh Giddey above Russell Westbrook. They had.
We don't talk about him on here.
We're not gonna get into that whole thing. That's not something we want to do. But I'm just saying, like some of those guys on there, like. You can't tell me Brook Lopez is better than Russell Westbrook. It was like 65. Come on, man. They had Zach LaVine.
Okay, Zach LaVine is way better than Russ right now today.
You switch their roles? No. You switch their teams? No. Russ is going to fall.
Okay, I don't. If they switched roles, I think the Bulls are worse.
What is it like? Zach LaVine's a high volume shooter. Like he gets buckets for sure, but like, I would like Russ and DeMar more than I like Zach LaVine and DeMar.
That's fair, but that's
And then
fair.
you
But
have
hypothetically, if the Bulls get rid of one of them, they're probably getting rid of both DeMar and
for sure,
Levine.
for sure. I don't think they would ever trade Russ for Levine to go to the Clippers. What I'm saying is, imagine if you had Russell Westbrook, DeMar DeRozan, and Vucevic with their dope role players. You might have a better team there because Russ is a way
Yeah.
better passer and facility. Because the thing is, Russ isn't a fancy passer by any means. He's not like a Jason Kidd, but he's so quick and strong and dominant. He gets the spots, reads the defense, and he just dumps it off. That's all he did with Steven Adams when they were in OKC. Those 2 triple-double years. Like,
So we got something in chat though. It says go look at his stats from last year's playoffs. 3 for 19. 3 for 19 in game 1. 9 points, 8 assists, 11 rebounds. He was a -6. Game 2, 9 of 16.
he averaged 23, 7, and 7 in 5 games in the playoffs.
Yeah, he also had 2 games where he shot 3 for 19 and 3 for 18.
Yeah, because his whole team was hurt, and he had the Huck. That's fine.
He had a -6, -13, -8, -1. He only had 1 game where he had a positive plus-minus. And in that game, he was +1.
Yeah, but wasn't Paul George and Kawhi both hurt? So it's
Yeah,
basically
but
Russell Westbrook versus the Phoenix Suns.
well, once you get to 3 for 10, 3 for 11, 3 for 12, you gotta start shooting, dude. 3 for 19 and 6 for 37 in 2 playoff games. Come on.
Hey,
At some point, you
happens.
gotta start looking
It
to
happens.
get others
But
involved.
who's he gonna give it to? Zubac?
If he's open.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's the thing though. It's like
Uh,
just go get it, man. We're not winning this playoff. Just go do your thing. And 23, 7, and 7. There's not a lot of dudes in the league that do that in the playoff
no, there's
series.
not. There's not.
Definitely not. Let's see here, man. We'll continue this going.
I mean, I'm just saying, last year the playoffs overall, he was -27. So
Yeah. Okay.
plus minus is so lame. Shut the. I ain't going there.
How sad is this Scoot Henderson year so far?
Dude, I've been seeing a lot of videos on it, and I saw this one conspiracy that it's like those glasses that he wears. Like he literally, people are joking around that they're drunk glasses, dude, because it kind of looks like it sometimes.
Dude, he's
No disrespect.
He's averaging 9 points, 2 assists. No, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, a half a steal, and 0.1 block. I mean,
He's been hurt. He's been hurt. It's his rookie year. There's going to be growing pains, but man, it has looked very, very brutal.
It's brutal too, but it is brutal. He was hurt for a good chunk there, man. I wouldn't be so. This kind of happened with Jabari Smith, and some other dudes in the past. Start off pretty slow, but then they start figuring out the league. They start figuring it out. So I don't think we write them off. So the problem is,
no, you can't write off a guy 16 guys into his career. No, absolutely not.
But that's what I'm getting to. People try to. People are starting to, and this is the problem with social media. And like I can never tell if it's a 12-year-old behind the Twitter or whatever I'm seeing, but like calling him a bust and doing all this stuff. I'm like, dude, what are we doing? What are we saying, man? Like people are like, that's the crazy part about culture now. Or people are they're more than happy to bash someone and put them down, and then like congratulate them when they're up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I got Scoots. There was a couple things that are pretty concerning though. He plays 25 minutes a game. He's averaging over 4 fouls a game in 25 minutes.
And he's aggressive.
And he's shooting 34% from the field and 22 from 3.
Hey, LaFontaine's not wrong. Plus minus is lame because plus minus isn't dedicated towards a player. It's all 5 on the court. All that player's out there.
I get it, but while that player's out there, the team as a unit is getting outscored. And so you need to play your role a little bit better.
Did anyone have a plus in that series for the Clippers?
I would have to go look.
I don't know. But, yeah, I just hate the fact that people like to put a dude down like Scoot Henderson. What is 20,
Yeah.
maybe. And they
I don't
just
even
throw
think
that
he
bust thing.
is.
Like, people would rather see dudes bust than, wait,
He's
pause.
19 still.
Pause. Dudes would rather call it. Pause. Yo, let's restart. Let's restart from the top, all right? Yo, okay. Dudes would rather see players fail and then label them as a bust than see them do great. And the NBA culture right now is so clicky, man. It's like, oh, that's my player. Like, I don't think guys like people like teams anymore. Like, oh, I'm a Luka Doncic fan. I don't like anyone else. I'm gonna go where Luka. It all started with LeBron.
Yeah, I'm just saying that's part of the new generation we've been talking about, man. That's the new thing.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it is crazy, man. But right now, who would you take, Chet or Wemby?
Are we talking as
Straight
a
up.
player or straight? Are we talking longevity or just?
Straight up.
I think right now with their current position, I'd probably take Chet, dude. He's on a better team. He plays a little bit bigger of a role. I've seen so many clips. I haven't watched a full OKC game, but I've seen a lot of what he can do. And we were talking about it, man. His bag is deep, and
The dog.
it's crazy to think he had a year to sit out with his injury and watch 82 games courtside and learn and study and be in those practices and be in those film breakdowns and have all of that experience before he stepped on the court, dude. I think it's paid off huge for him, and I just think with where they're placed in the standings right now and everything,
He
I
plays a
would
big
take
role in
Chet.
that because look where they were
Yeah,
last year.
absolutely.
Shea plays a huge role on that too, and so does the torture chamber. But but I think Wemby ceiling's massive. So is
Oh,
Chet. But
absolutely.
like what I'm seeing from Chet right now, it's like he may not be 7'6", but he's like a mini KD, bro. Like he's the white.
Mini, I think he's bigger than
He's the
KD.
white KD. I would say mini in terms of like age, like
I
coming out.
see. Yeah, I
Like
got you.
it's
Yeah, he's
crazy.
7'1". That's
Wemby's still figuring out. That Spurs team's really struggling right now, though. They'll figure it out. They're super young, like some of the other teams we're talking about. I think they're definitely gonna figure it out. Um, but like Chet, dude, I've seen it, watched some clips. I've
he's
watched
nice.
some parts of their games, and he's a dog, man. Um,
I wanna I wanna ask you something. Since we took last week off, I don't know if you saw this or not, but when the Clippers were playing the Spurs in San Antonio, and the Spurs fans were booing Kawhi, and Pop gets on the mic and starts chirping. What did you think of that? I thought that was so bizarre.
I thought it was bizarre too, but honestly, like I have two thoughts of it. It's like fans are there to boo and do all of that, but I think it shows how classy Pop is, and that in the grand scheme of things, he kind of gets it. Like Kawhi led you
No,
to a
he's soft for
championship,
that. He
bro.
is so soft for
He
that.
might be soft, but like Pop, that's Pop, man. Like that's who he is. Like I think it was because it was Kawhi. I think if it was anyone else, he wouldn't have done it, but it was Kawhi at the free throw line. And I think he's saying, shut up. This guy won us a ring. He was our finals MVP. Even though we didn't leave on the best terms, that was almost how long ago? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he may have heard some other stuff out of the crowd, too. I don't know how San Antonio gets down, but um, I don't know. I
It was just weird.
I respect Pop for doing it because it just shows he's classy, but at the same time, fans are there to boo people. It's kind of a double edged sword for me.
Yeah, I get it.
I get it on both sides. But you know, at a certain point,
That's something he could have addressed in the post-game press conference. I don't think he needed to
dude,
get.
mid game, I've never seen anything like that. Mid game, he goes over and gets on the mic. I didn't even think that was legal. But like that's Pop. Like
Yeah, right.
Pop has that kind of pull though. Like he could say, "Yo, shut up." Like I'm Popovich. I've won you many, many rings. You're gonna listen to me, and that's what he says. He's like, that's not who we are. So I don't know what San Antonio fans are like. I've never heard like San Antonio fans being, you know, vulgar or anything like Boston fans or
Yeah.
like those
Yeah.
places. Like I'd assume they're a very classy organization. So I'd assume he heard something or was experiencing something that he thought was like, this isn't who we are. Let me remind you real quick. Because
Uh-huh.
like Russ has had problems. KD, a lot of people have had problems like when they've gone and played places, and like you are a fan, but there is a boundary, and those are human beings out there on the court too. And the human being at the free throw line that you're probably giving it to, pause. You were booing. Um, I don't know what's going on. That you were booing did a lot for your organization, and it was all because of like a medical diagnosis. Is why basically he
Yeah.
that's up for whatever it is. But yeah, the Spurs, I don't know, man. They're struggling. I think they'll turn it around. Like you're seeing the glimpses from Chet, not Chet, but Wemby though. Like
Oh yeah,
he'll
he's
have.
good.
I think this is my prediction. I think Wemby might if he stays healthy at the end of his career, might be the NBA's all-time block leader. Like dude sends it.
Let's go see what I want to go see what that leaderboard looks like. Because I think he's already averaging like 3 a game.
Yeah, dude. Hakeem Olajuwon with 3,800. Let's look at
3,800. Damn.
See where Wemby's at right now. He's averaging 2.5 a game. He's had 4 blocks, 2 blocks, 3 blocks, 2 blocks, 8 blocks, 2 blocks, 1 block. Like 8 blocks, dude. Through how many games?
So I did okay. So say he plays 75 games a year. For 15 years, you would probably have to average 2 or 3 or 4 for that long.
Oh, with NBA's modern science and stuff, and he stays healthy. Not modern science, but like health and performance and things.
Yeah.
He can play 20. But who knows? Like the big thing we've always wondered about him was like, can that body and frame hold up? Like it is a blessing, but it has its curses. What is he averaging right now? He's averaging 19, 9, 2, 1, and 2.
Hakeem averaged 3 blocks a game for his career in 18 seasons. That's
Wemby could do that.
Yeah, it would be quite the accomplishment. I'm not gonna write him off and say that he can't. Like you said, he's got to hold up though.
Got to hold up, man. But yeah, that was something I wanted to throw out there because it's like I think
That's a good one.
Before the season, everyone was saying it was Wemby, but now we're looking at Chet like, oh shoot, and kind of. Let's not forget about him. But I've also seen people talking about this topic saying, like, we need to stop letting these dudes who get hurt in their rookie year be up for rookie of the year. What do you think about that?
See,
because they get to be around.
That is so hard, man. That is so hard. Because who did that happen with? There was somebody else that it happened to somewhat recently.
It was LaMelo and Anthony Edwards, I think, wasn't it?
Was it?
No, it was bro, it was like 3.
Maybe chat can help us out.
Was it Ben Simmons?
That's what I was kind of thinking. Or was it Embiid? No, it wasn't Embiid.
No, it was recently. Hold on.
Oh my god.
It was
Was it LaMelo?
I'm thinking it was LaMelo, bro. Was he out his whole first year?
Well, he was 19 when he won it.
I think it was LaMelo.
Oh, that's Ben Simmons. LaFontaine says it was Ben Simmons. But either way, man, I don't know. I mean, they're still technically considered a rookie, and it would be wrong if they didn't qualify for it. But like we talked about earlier, having that experience like Chet now, being able to go to the practices, the film, sit courtside, be around all the guys, learn the lifestyle. I mean, that is such a huge advantage. So, I mean... But, I mean, if it's because of injury, it's not something that they control, so I don't see how you could keep them out of that out of that pool of players that would qualify. I don't think you could do that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I get it. It was just something interesting too. And I saw some people talking about dudes getting paid, and they're saying in the NBA dudes get paid based off of their age and not when they were drafted. Because I think it was Gilbert Arenas was talking about it, and I was like, that is a very fair point, because he was saying, he was talking to Buddy Hield, and Buddy Hield was like, I need a bag. Like, look at my draft class, and like, look what I'm doing compared to some of those guys. And he told me, he's like, you're not getting paid over your draft class. You're getting paid to all the other 28, 29-year-olds in the league. And you got to think who's 28, 29 in the league. That's like Pat. That's like
Yeah.
freaking Giannis, like dudes like that. And it's like, oh, shoot, it's interesting. But yeah, to that rookie stuff, it was like, interesting.
Yeah,
that's like a big thing, and it's going to be a big thing with Chet. I wouldn't be surprised they give him a co-MVP. I thought they needed to give LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards. It was Anthony Edwards. Going back a couple topics, is Anthony Edwards started his rookie year off slow, and then he freaking turned it on after Christmas. And I thought he was the runaway because LaMelo fractured his ankle 50 games in, and they still gave it to LaMelo.
Dude. What sucks is both of those brothers, LaMelo and Lonzo, dude, they have just been hurt, and hurt some more.
Yeah, it
sucks. Because Lonzo was starting to come into his own when he went to Chicago and he found the role that he was thriving in, and then shit, we haven't seen him in 2 years. This is his second straight year out, man. It sucks. And then LaMelo,
he's like 25 too. Like he's still, and people are trying to write him off. It's like, dude,
is he that young?
He's younger than us.
I thought he was like 28, 29.
He's younger than us, dude.
Damn, he was born in 97. You're right. He's 26.
Yeah, dude, he's younger than us.
He's 26.
It's kind of weird to think. Like I'm like when we're on our app trading and stuff, I'm like,
dude, time is such a weird perception when it comes to athletes.
Yeah, like Karl Anthony Towns, he's my age. Oh shoot, that's crazy. But yeah, we'll just keep trucking through here, man.
Yeah.
Who's your top NFL QB right now?
I don't think anyone's gonna like this answer, but give me CJ Stroud, man.
I knew you were gonna
got
say
another
it.
big time
I
dub
knew you were
today.
gonna say it.
Dude, he's
runaway rookie of the year, right?
Yeah, just for the pod, Jake and I have had this conversation a couple times. We drafted CJ. I was like, yeah, we'll see. We could have, because we picked him and then we traded, or we picked Will Anderson after trading up, and we gave up our first round pick. I was like, let's just be bad another year, hold on to that pick, and then we can go pick a guy like Caleb Williams or Drake May. And I was very skeptical with that Stroud pick. It took me 6, 7, 8 games without him throwing an interception, winning ball games to finally become a believer. I think he's got 3 game-winning drives already as a rookie this year. Defense, he is in just such a good spot. The one thing, though, that really sucks is he lost his number 2 guy today, Tank Dell, out for the year. But, I mean, you have your household names, your Mahomes, your Hurts, Josh Allen. A lot of those guys have been struggling. But I'm taking CJ, man. He's been consistent. He's been really, really solid.
Let me look here. Let me see what the quarterback ratings are on this app real quick. It tells you he's the number 1 QB.
I mean,
QB. They got Josh Allen at 1.
Yeah, no.
Hell no.
He's a turnover machine.
Dak's up there. Jalen Hurts. I mean, Jalen Hurts can definitely be in that conversation for sure.
Absolutely. He's having a little down. Actually.
What about Lamar Jackson? Like, everyone, like, he got his MVP, and everyone just started, like, they don't like Lamar Jackson.
I'm going to give him 1A. 1A is CJ Stroud and my 1B. You're not going to like this one either. Give me Tua.
Tua, I like Tua a lot. He balls. He definitely has threats around him, but like,
oh yeah,
Remember when Tyreek came out and said that he throws a better ball than Pat Mahomes, and people were like, "Yeah, you're drunk," but like,
dude, I think he had like 2 40, 50-yard touchdowns today. 2 Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, I mean, probably makes your life very easy when you're throwing.
You got the fastest player in the world.
Yeah. Let me see. So you're top 5. I think it's top 5. So you're gonna go Tua,
okay, I'll
CJ.
Go top 5. Tua, CJ. I mean,
you gotta put Pat Mahomes.
You gotta throw. Yeah, you gotta put him in there.
I'm going Tua.
I don't.
Go ahead.
I'm not putting Josh Allen in there. He turns the ball over way too much. I got to put Jalen Hurts in there because the Eagles. I
For
mean,
sure. People tried to write him off
um,
too. People want talk about Jalen Hurts. People want to hate him so bad. Have you
dude,
seen those
I
memes? It's
know.
like, oh, I'm so good. God got my back. I can never lose. I thought that was funny, but I was like, I think it's a dope. I think the way he handles himself's dope. I like it.
Yeah, he's a great dude. It seems
So
like. Obviously, I
CJ,
don't know.
Tua, Pat, Jalen Hurts, last one.
Oh, dude, that's so hard because a lot of quarterbacks, like you got guys like Herbert and Burrow, who you wanted to be so much better than they have been this year.
Burrow's been fighting injury since camp,
Yeah, he
man.
has. Oh man, Brock Purdy doesn't do enough to push that agenda. Trevor Lawrence has been pretty good, dude. There's just so many pretty good quarterbacks. Number 5 though, I'll just go Lamar just because of how dynamic
I
he
love
is.
Lamar Jackson. I don't know why people try and write him off either. Let's see. So yeah, Tua, CJ, Mahomes, Jalen, and Lamar. I'm gonna
Yep.
go. I'm gonna go Lamar, Tua, Jalen, Pat, Mac Jones. I'm just
You
kidding.
mean the guy who got benched for Bailey Zappi on a game-winning drive last week? Played the whole game, gets benched the last drive.
Yeah, no, I'm just playing. Um, yeah, dude, I think you gotta throw CJ in there, man. He's been balling, dude.
Hey, come
I think
on
you gotta.
now.
I think I'm gonna mirror yours. I can't think of anyone else. Matt Stafford hasn't been himself since they won the Super Bowl. I mean, actually, I'd probably insert a healthy Joe Burrow over CJ.
I mean,
Joe
yeah,
Burrow's
you
the
could make
dog.
that argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could make.
But right now, given the landscape and Joe Burrow's out for the year, I'd
Yeah,
probably put CJ in there. So I don't know, man. It's interesting. It's funny for me because this time of year, dude, like my fantasy, not my fantasy, but like I pay way more attention to basketball when
yeah,
basketball starts in college basketball and college football than NFL. I like these last couple weeks. I feel like I haven't been paying as much attention. And that's just it. Like I'm more of a basketball kind of dude anyway, so than like the guys
yeah.
playing. Like I'd rather watch that kind of stuff. Um,
I feel that.
but it is what it is, man. Um, so kind of getting out of sports stuff. We're
Hmm.
gonna mix it up a little bit. Heff, what do you? It's Christmas Day. You're with your family at the Christmas table.
Oh yeah.
What are y'all talking about? What do you do?
You know,
'Cause it is the
it's
holiday
weird.
season.
Oh yeah, we. I mean, I'm gonna reflect on what we did for Thanksgiving because it's probably gonna be the same thing, and we're always just catching up. We always all my family we stay in pretty close contact for the most part, but it's always catching up, seeing how everyone's doing.
Mhm.
I don't know if the pod knows, but I got quite a few nieces and nephews. Always trying to. I always like picking a fight
Demons.
with them, giving them a hard time. You know, I love them more than anything. I just love giving them a hard time. I mean, I'm 27 and I play with them like I'm their age, dude. It's it's so fun being an uncle. I always try to teach them something though, and one of the things this was Thanksgiving, man. It was so funny. So, have you ever played the game Left, Right, Center, a
Yeah.
dice game?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, my little niece, she's 8 or 9. I give her 3 quarters to play. She wins, and so I was like, all right. Give me 3 quarters and then give Delia 3 quarters. Her Aunt Dottie. They call her Aunt Dottie because of the game, but so she pays us back with the money that we gave her, and then she keeps winning, and I keep taking the money from her to keep us in the game, and she would just get so pissed off, and I was like, that dude, that's interest, that's life.
That's
I
tact.
was like, it's tough love. You're too young and you don't understand it now, but that's life.
That's funny. It's funny when you do those kind of real world things to like little kids and stuff and like what the hell are you talking about? So at my school I work at, we have things called dino dollars. And I was like,
Oh yeah.
you should start taxing these kids at the dino store. Oh, it's one dino dollar? Make them give you two. because of tax.
Oh yeah,
Okay? Do something like that. Yeah, and Heff beats up on minors. I mean, I saw
that's
him. Yeah, I've seen him beat a couple minors up. Yeah, for sure.
what is that even supposed to mean? It's tough. I love showing my nieces and nephews a little bit of tough
You
love,
gotta,
man.
hey, you gotta show kids tough love, and that's so interesting. You said that is like, I
You
watched
know
some.
all about that, dude, in that
Oh,
line of work.
oh, dude, like my line of work's definitely mental health prioritized for
Mm-hmm.
sure. But like, there's things where I get pulled into to talk to kids like who fought or like just being a jackwagon in class and just not, just being little dingleberries. And like sometimes I got to take the social work hat off and I just got to spit them some like real life stuff. Like, oh,
Oh yeah.
like I'm like this isn't a situation where it's like, okay, so tell me like how you feeling right now. Like, I don't go the mental health route all the time. Like, hey, what happened? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so that happened. Why'd you do that? You think that was a good decision? No, it wasn't a good decision. It's a terrible decision, but you still got second chances. So
Oh yeah.
what are you gonna do? Like next time you get put in this situation, how are you gonna handle it? Or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I gotta tell a kid like, dude, what? Like you're better. Like social, like you're. I tell kids like you're better than that, dude. Like there's
Oh yeah.
nothing else for me to say right now. Like you're better than that, and that I'm kind of disappointed right now that you decided to do this. But um, it's funny because like our parents, you know, their parents were really hard on them. So our
Oh
parents
yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
the people we were raised by were really hard on us. We had high expectations. Like I'd get slapped upside the head. I'd get spanked
Oh
like
yeah.
because I deserved it. But like
Oh
now,
yeah.
like nowadays, it's like,
Now
oh,
you're
that's
going to
child
jail for that
abuse.
kind
Yeah,
of
you're going to
shit.
jail for that. Like, there's definitely a boundary there, but like,
Oh yeah.
look, dude, like
It's a fine line, and especially in today's society, man, you got to be careful with how you raise your kids, and
I don't know, man. It sucks. You do got to be careful with it, but like, there's life lessons in that, bro. Like, I remember one time I said something to my grandma, and I was just being out of pocket. I was being a little prick, and I just said something to her, just ruthless. I was like, like a early high school kid, just like emotionally, just all over the place, and just had one of those moments. My grandpa smacked the fuck out of me. He said, "Don't you ever talk to anybody like that again in your life." And I never talked to my grandma like that again.
yeah,
But
it
it's like
straightens you up,
you
man.
got to
It's a
get straightened
lesson, and you're
out a
never
little
gonna make
bit,
it again.
dude. Yeah, and I saw Dana White was talking about it on like some interview. He said we are so soft in today's society. He said, like, think about World War II. Bunch of 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds storming the beaches of Normandy and all those kinds of things. He's like, do you think kids today would do that? He says no. He doesn't think kids today would do that. And he said every 10 years we get
It
softer.
wouldn't.
And that's kind of sad and it's kind of scary to think about, dude, because like we are so we got to be hard on kids for one to teach them life lessons and stuff, but like
Yeah, absolutely.
we can't wipe kids' asses all the time anymore. Mine wasn't like I definitely got my breaks for sure. Like there were times,
Yeah.
and that's like as a parent, I feel like there's moments where it's like, okay, I'll give you a break here, and not that our parents were super hard on us, but we were held to expectations, and we weren't, not bought out, but what's the word I'm trying to think for? Bailed out. We weren't bailed out
Yeah.
of things.
Yeah, I
Like
got you.
we were held to it for the most part.
Oh yeah.
And like
Had to be.
and today, like you were saying, you gotta be real careful. It's like people feel like they can't do that anymore with their kid. Like or like I don't know, man. And I'm a social worker. Some of this stuff I probably shouldn't say because it kind of goes against some of the stuff I've been trained in. And like I think there's times and moments where things are
Mm-hmm.
appropriate. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
can't. We want our kids to be emotionally stable, but we also don't want kids to be victims. Like you're sad today. Okay, you're sad. What can you do to help yourself and teach them those things? Okay, I can go talk to somebody about why I'm sad, but I need to learn how to transition out of this, deal with it in a healthy way, and be able to get back. But like some
Mm-hmm.
people, oh, you're sad. Okay, let's go get an ice cream cone. Oh, I'm gonna go buy you something. Like what is that? I mean, sometimes yes, or you punish your kid, then you feel bad, and then you're gonna
Uh-huh.
go give them something because you feel bad that you punished them. I don't know, but like, do you really think like if it got down to the nitty gritty, Hef, people like
No,
younger than us would
they
go
would. No.
He said
We'd be screwed.
he said you got the deep South states, Alabama, Kentucky,
Yeah.
Georgia. He said they'll go, but everywhere else, I don't know. I think we're from Montana, bro. I think dudes from Montana would ride for sure.
Oh yeah, I agree with that.
But like, we're not gonna
States
get
like Washington or California, I don't know if we'd want them to be fighting for our
and
for our freedom.
We're not gonna get too deep onto why people are soft. In my opinion, we're not gonna go there. But I mean, the thing about life, Heff, and we're kind of getting off topic here, but I feel like this is a good discussion right now.
No, it is absolutely.
The thing about life, Heff, is we have our issues in the United States. We're not like we have our issues, but we got it pretty damn good. You know what
Facts.
I mean? We have access to anything we want for the most part, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you got people who are living real life shit everywhere else. Like some of these little like Hispanic kids that come from Mexico, they're hard, bro. Like they're way more mature than a lot of kids that there's some of the kids in the elementary school, dude, were more mature than the kids I coached in high school. And I work in an elementary because they've been through real shit. They know what it's like to not have food on the table. They know what it's like to see their parents get taken, like all this kind of different stuff. And I think we're getting farther and farther away from that. And there's going to be something. I don't know. I hope it's not our lifetime. But there's going to be a time and a place where that roll call is going to come out. And it's going to say, are we going to do something about this? If it's a war or if it's something. To kind of shape us back into reality. Otherwise, it's not going to end. You know what I mean?
I agree with everything, man. It's kind of tough looks.
Like I obviously watch UFC and stuff, and I see like these UFC dudes from like Russia, Kazakhstan, like Serbia, like they're hard. And there's a UFC fighter yesterday. Hold on. They're badasses because they've lived a rugged life. They've had to, like Francis Ngannou, bro. He's a millionaire now, but he didn't get there because it was given to him. He worked in salt mines as a little child. Walked across Africa all the way up to Europe to get his opportunities. Like you don't see shit like that,
No, you don't.
And like
you don't.
What do you call it? Do you become a product of your environment or whatever it is? And do you remember? Have you ever seen like gym classes back in like the 50s?
No.
In like the 60s?
Can't say that I have.
It was like a boot camp. Like gym classes in like the 50s were like a boot camp. Like you had to you would fail gym class basically. I don't know exactly. Don't quote me on this, but you had to hold your weight going across the monkey bars or you're going to fail. You're going to have to do 100 push-ups to pass this test. You're going to have to be able to do these kinds of things as a male. I'm pretty sure most of it was like male stuff, but like gym classes today, the kids can say, no, I don't want to do it. I'm just going to sit here because you can't do anything about it. And then their parents are like, nope. Yeah, they don't want to do it. They're not going to do it. You know what I mean?
It's crazy how there's just such a fine line, and it becomes way too political. But
way too political.
Makes you afraid to be a parent and have to be put in those positions as a parent.
It's funny. I talked with Sid about it. I'm like, my kid ever acted like that? And I fucking. This is why I'm happy she's gonna be the mother of my children because she's like, yeah, fuck that. That if my kid acts like that, they're gonna learn real quick that that's not the way. You know what I mean? Like, can't be a victim. Never be a victim. You could be a victim for a second, like, oh shit, this happened to me. I'm in a real bad spot. But how are you gonna get out of it? How are you gonna pick yourself up from the bootstrap?
Help me, help yourself.
Yeah, like, how are you gonna problem solve? Okay, you can't sit here and say, oh, the world hates me. Da 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 da. Prove the world wrong. Prove those people wrong. Do something. And then we're just, I don't know. Anyways, I don't know how we got down this, but we're talking. Oh, the kids. You're talking about taxing the kids, and like I think that's dope. I'm like that. Tax these kids at the dino store. Like let's teach them some stuff. But yeah, I don't really have much for Christmas table stuff. Shit. Actually, I like playing card games.
As long as it
Cards
don't get
Against
political.
Humanity goes hard.
Oh yeah.
I love
Yeah, we
Cards
like
Against
apples to
Humanity.
apples.
Apples to Apples is fun too. I like playing those kinds of games at like Christmas time. Those are
Yeah,
fun.
that's
Those are
uh-huh.
fun. And honestly, dude, like this is the time of year where it's just like sometimes you just don't want to be with anyone else but your family. Like this is like that
Mm-hmm.
time of year. It's like I just want to go kick it. Like I'm excited to go up to Montana during Christmas break to go see my family in Great Falls, but also spend time with Sid's family too, because like
Yep.
they have something that like my family necessarily didn't have. Like they'll sit around the table, they'll talk, they'll play the games. My family we did that sometimes, but not always. But like I'm excited for that stuff to like kind of just chill with your people and just enjoy those times because like as we're getting older, man, like our buddy Tim just moved from Denver. I was like, damn, I don't know when I'll actually see Tim again. Like we'll have to plan something. Like sometimes you never know when you're gonna see someone again, man. And those times are
Yeah, that's
important.
tough. Sucks.
Yeah, but yeah, Cards Against Humanity goes crazy. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Continue to going on with our stuff here. Favorite life-changing music artist. What was the music artist that changed your life? Do you have one?
You know, that I've been thinking about that since you sent it to me. And the more I think about it, the harder it gets for me to answer that. And I'll explain a little bit because like I know like I don't listen to music as much as a lot of people. You've had some we've had some guests on here on the pod, and we've had some really good conversations about music, and it made me realize I was like, damn, I really don't listen to music like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but one thing with it that I've noticed is like I get older and life goes on. The genre that I prefer has changed so much. Like when I was growing up, I was put onto '90s country. When I was in high school, I started listening to more modern country. And high school is more like rap and hip hop. And
Mm-hmm.
at this point in my life, it's more like independent and folk music. And so
Mm-hmm.
like there's not really one specific like musician or song or anything that's really changed my life. But as my life goes on, my taste in music kind of evolves a little bit.
Yeah.
And
So it's a
I
little
mean,
bit of everything.
yeah. There's specific genres that I really have a strong distaste for, but I like to think that I have a pretty diverse interest in music.
Who
But
who was the artist though? From like even when you were a kid, that was like,
yeah,
uh,
oh,
yeah. There's someone that was like you can turn it on at all time, and like
I don't
there
know
might
if
be
I
a
could say it was
message
life
to it,
changing,
like the
but
message,
like
I should say.
I'd I'd probably have to say this is gonna sound corny and shit, but like George Strait, just because
Yeah,
that was
that's
my
not
dad's.
bad.
He was my favorite artist. He was my dad's favorite artist when my dad was a kid and growing up and stuff. And all my fondest memories with my dad are going up to our cabin, and he's got every single album ever of George Strait's on freaking CD, and we'd always just play it and turn it up. And I have my favorite memories in my life to George Strait, growing up as a kid and stuff. So
Yeah.
for different reasons, that's probably who I would have to go with.
But like George Strait, probably his music touched on a lot of aspects that you saw in your
Oh
life.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Your dad's from
uh
Texas,
huh.
family's from Texas. Like, I know you live in Montana, but Montana kind of has a little, Texas vibe to
Oh
it,
yeah,
depending on where you're
oh yeah.
at. And so, like, that's kind of what I was asking. Was like, probably growing up, George Strait probably talked to you a little bit because he was like, "Oh yeah, I see these things in my life." You know what I mean? Oh, Hunt made a
Yeah,
blockbuster trade. Do you want me to read it out before I go?
yeah. Let's hear it.
He sent Drew Holiday, Josh Richardson, and Michael Porter for Kawhi and Josh Giddey.
He would get giddy.
He would get Giddey.
Kind of sad.
Um, I mean, that's not a
So who
terrible
did he?
trade. He
You got
got
Gideon who?
Kawhi.
So an injury prone guy who's older in his career. That's
Yeah.
you got fleeced, son. Again.
Oh, shoot. You got fleeced, he says. Oh, shoot. But for me, bro, let me think.
Yeah, let's hear you. Let's hear yours.
Honestly, I don't even.
I know you got a lot
It's
deeper of a connection with music than I do, so I'm interested.
I'd say Kendrick Lamar
Mm-hmm.
and Eminem. And listen why I say Eminem. Eminem's music, he said a lot of outlandish shit. Okay, but some of the things that Eminem rapped about, um,
Mm-hmm.
he has outlandish
They
music
were
where
important.
he says some things that are not appropriate, and I will not say on this podcast. But he does have a lot of good music that speaks stories and it speaks volumes to
Yeah.
people who are in similar circumstances. So when I was a kid, even like kindergarten, I'd listen to Eminem and be like, "Oh, I love Eminem." And as I got older, I
Mm-hmm.
started hearing the music a little bit more, and I was like, "Dude." So
Yep.
when there's
Yep.
times in my
Yep. Yep.
life, I throw in a little Eminem, but as I got into high school, I think that's when Kendrick Lamar really took over. I will not say the Chili Peppers. That's when Kendrick Lamar took me. Like
Yeah.
his music, like took me because it was
Uh-huh.
again music that came from a space that I kind of fit in terms of the circumstances. Maybe not exactly, but there was a lot of things within the music that he was talking about and giving wisdom to that I was like, yeah, that's exactly what I
Once you
need to
start
hear.
listening to the words and understanding what they're trying to say and the story they're telling, dude, I've had it so many times where I've listened to a song so many times and I really liked it. And then I turn on like the music video and it just there's a couple words in there that you thought you knew and you didn't, and it completely changes
Yeah,
this your perspective of the song. And once you start actually listening to what they're telling you, it changes everything.
that's what I'm saying, dude. And like music
Mm-hmm.
videos are a big part of that. Like you might think you know a vibe to a song until you listen to the music video. Like Pumped Up
Yeah.
Kicks, we thought that was just a cool little tune, but it was about like
Oh
Columbine
god.
shooting. Like no one would have known unless they would have, you know.
I didn't know that for the longest time too.
Yeah, and that's a banger. But yeah, like
And
Kendrick
Loki,
Lamar,
yeah.
like High Power, ADHD. His latest album, bro, it's been about a year and a half, almost 2 years
Mm-hmm.
coming up since it's been out. His latest album, I still bump it. And because it's just the shit he's talking about, I'm like, wow. Um, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like the relevance to it too is some of the stuff like these people like George Strait, Kendrick, or whatever. They're also talking about shit that's happening in society and saying like
Uh-huh.
giving their take on it. And like when you see that take align with you, or they might give you some wisdom that you may have thought about or a different perspective, like it's important. That's why I think music's so important, man. But hip hop right now,
Yep.
it's like I love hip hop, but it's hard for me to get down with some of these new artists, man.
Yeah,
I'm
I listen to the radio. So I don't pay for my own Spotify. I really only listen to music when I'm with Delia, and she knows the stuff I like, so she puts my playlist together for me. But I just listen to the radio, and it's just the same shit, and it's just
yeah, yeah, and like the
songs
stuff
are
people are
weird, and I'm
rapping
like, how
about,
is this
dude.
on the radio? This shit is weird, dude. It's
Yeah,
just,
like I'm not against you go get in your bag. Like I'm not gonna
oh
bash you
yeah,
for getting your bag, but like I think music's being so it's like massively produced now because of like all
yeah,
the
yeah. All the
technological
platforms
advancements and
and
platforms, and like people are going out there, and I'm pretty sure that Sexy Red rapper, he's talking about some nasty stuff that was like how is this like the number one song? Like that would have been
I'm
like back in
yeah,
our day, that would have been like a Lonely Island song, where it was just kind of like a joke, you know. But like they're being dead
yeah.
ass and like, go get your bag, girl. Like I don't care. Like I'm happy that you're getting your money, but
And the
like
fact that they're that high up on the leaderboard and everybody's just eating it up, dude, it just
just the TikTok
I
shit, man.
mean,
Like
I mean,
it's
whatever. Once
yeah,
again, we've talked about it many times tonight, but that generation coming up, man, it's fucking weird.
it's a weird
It's
vibe,
weird.
dude.
We're in
And
rough shape for when they become the adults and the
well,
leaders and decision makers.
are we looking at the results of social media platforms like exploiting like children and like
Probably.
doing like YouTube and things like that? Like
Uh-huh.
it's really interesting because like
Yeah.
and they probably said that about our music, but like when you look back, like our music really wasn't too bad. Like every rapper or singer or pop star is gonna make like inappropriate innuendos or like say some stuff that's like a little inappropriate, like whatever. And that's why people hate on it. But now I think it's so magnified,
Yeah.
and it's really weird.
Weird's a good way to put it.
I just can't get down with it, I should say. I just can't get down with it. It's different. I've been kind of getting back, turning back the clock, listening to a lot of 70s, 80s, you know, R&B, Motown, that kind of stuff, funk. And then like, and that's the thing, those artists are out there. You just got to find them, but they're not promoted on like platforms like these other people are. You know what I mean? Like, you can't tell me Sexy Red and Ice Spice would be where they are right now if there wasn't someone that said, "Oh yeah, let's make the agenda. We're gonna push this right here and make sure this is all people see. They're not gonna see this other stuff." You know, and that's the sketchy thing about social media, man. You saw it with like elections, like that thing came out like a year or two ago where they like were purposely like suppressing like Republican like ads and stuff on social media platforms, and it's like,
yeah,
that's a weird thing to do. Like, I don't care what side of the where you are music wise, politics, whatever it is, like it should be a free reign, but like you're pushing it. That's where people are saying the Illuminati's real. I ain't gonna talk about it. If I talk about it, you might not see me again. So, but kind of within all of this too, video games has changed a lot too. Like esports and all this stuff has popped up.
What a transition.
Do you think video games is a sport, dog?
Hell no.
No.
Hell no.
And I give salute to all my dudes who are really good at video games. I give you salute. And they're saying hand-eye coordination and stuff. Dog, I've seen dudes with that are amazing at video games that couldn't catch a football, and they're trying to talk about hand-eye coordination.
No, yeah.
You know,
video games are not sports. Esports is we could have come up with something besides esports, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
you're telling me like Ninja's an athlete because he's good at Fortnite because he's a pro Fortnite player? Come on now.
Yeah, like, well, they argue, well, chess is a sport and things like that. It's like, but is it though? Like, there needs to be like a different category for it all, because they are good, very good at what they do. Don't get me wrong, but there's a big difference. And if they are
absolutely is.
If they are a sport, they're like at the very bottom, like next to like the people in the Olympics who roll the big little cylinder thing and try and get it in like
curling is a sport.
But they're
curling
like
is a dude. Curling is electric. Don't compare curling to video games as a sport. That's so disrespectful.
Talking athleticism though.
You still got to know how to skate.
I mean,
I can't skate. I can't skate.
That's true. Ninja would give me 40. Hell no, dude.
Oh,
if Ninja and I played a game of basketball to 100, it'd be 100-0. 100-0. And he'd probably do this thing at some point.
The floss?
The floss, yeah.
Jesus Christ. I can't believe you just did that.
I know. But how I'm tying this all together, Heff, is video games are a big part of TikTok and the evolution of all this stuff too. Like,
oh yeah,
I feel like it all boomed when Twitch came out. All of this stuff fucking went crazy. When
so weird to think you can be a millionaire for playing video games, man.
Well, Booga,
like the Batman is ass at video games, and he's just freaking rolling in the money.
He's more of an entertainer than anything. Like him and Dr. Disrespect.
It's so bizarre though, just knowing you can live very, 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 very comfortably.
Generational.
Doing what you and I are doing right now.
Well, Tim the Tatman has 3 different YouTubes that he posts to and gets crazy views on, and he's just making making crazy money off of that. Like, that's what we're trying to do. That's what we're.
Well,
we'll get there. We will get there once we times our viewers to times it by 100, times it by something like that, 400,000 or 400 in here. We had 400 in here at one point, bro. That'd be elite. Give us a year.
That'd be crazy.
Give us a year.
I'd be shaking, dude. I'd be so nervous in front of 400 people.
Yeah, just give us a year. But all of that, like, I feel like from the music to the video games, all that, like 2017 when Fortnite came out, I think that changed more than what we think it really did. Not just for video games, but for like culture.
Yeah.
Then TikTok kind of rolled out because they saw what Twitch was doing. And TikTok was like, Like imagine Vine. Like Vine was top tier. You know
Dude,
what I
Vine
mean?
was the best.
But TikTok took the Vine thing and then kind of mixed it with the video. Like it got crazy because then the video gamers and then it started getting then you bring in the music with the dances, and so people are just making music now to make it a dance for TikTok so they can go viral. And it's like, weird, man. I don't know. I don't know,
Dude,
dude.
this new generation is just weird. Is the only way you could put it.
Yeah, and we're not too far removed, but I think we're like that
No, we're not.
generation, bro.
We were the bridge. We were the last
we
generation
are
of.
that bridge, bro. Like our parents, our grandparents saw some shit. You know what I mean? And like they're the foundation of what we inherit today, you know? And what kind of our discussion earlier, like it's sunshines and rainbows. Like we have our issues that need to be addressed here in our country, but like it's we're living pretty damn good compared to a lot of places, and
Facts.
you could only think that makes you a little softer or a little less prone to what life really is. Because what life really is a lot different than TikTok, you know, a lot different than going and getting a burger at McDonald's and fast food and all that stuff. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
man.
feel you.
Hour 40, we got it in. We had Tommy on to start.
Mm-hmm.
Had some internet issues, so we had to cut a little short. Unfortunate, but dude looked locked in. I'm saying
Oh
this
yeah,
right
he's
now.
ready.
Dude,
He's ready.
Tommy Gunn is locked in, and he's gonna do his thing on Saturday, next Saturday, and we'll be tuned in. We'll have him on after, and we'll talk next steps with him. You could just see it, dude.
Oh yeah,
Completely different vibe than the last time he was
his
on.
whole demeanor.
His whole demeanor, and I love that shit because you know, like he's a winner, bro. Like he's a winner.
Uh-huh.
Like look at
No other way to
him
put it.
through high school, 3-time state champ, right? Fluke his junior year, fluke. Then now look what he's doing in the mixed martial arts area. You know what I mean? And like he
Mm-hmm.
knows how to tap in. He has great coaches around him. I'm excited. I wish we got to talk a little bit more, but I just thought we had to let it go because of the internet. But
Mm-hmm.
we're excited and we'll get him on. Um, TikTok for sure, dude. TikTok for sure, 100%. Um, but yeah, we talked a little bit more about some other stuff, Hef. But episode 13 in the books. Is there anything else you want to say
Yep.
before we get off?
No, just appreciate everyone tuning in, engaging with us. Give us the feedback, and as always, we appreciate you.
Appreciate you. And we are gonna try and transition our streams to YouTube instead of Twitch. So stay on the look for that. I don't know how long it'll take for me to get that figured out. But we're good. We're gonna try and make that route instead. So all right, y'all. Thank you. Appreciate it.